love to fly up in the sky. Through the clouds I reach so high, climbing up to touch the light. Adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the drums begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. I love to fly up in the sky. Through the clouds I reach so high, climbing up to touch the light. Adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light.
Hello again. We're back at Corfu. Again, Beyond ATC doesn't add any traffic whatsoever to this airport, which is a shame. Not sure why, but there's absolutely no plane here. It's like how one flies to Corfu during the summer, right? Even if there's a winter schedule for the ATC, I would say there should be some airplanes here. Especially chartered flights that go in and out of the island. But hopefully Corsica will be better. We'll see. So welcome to today's flight. we are taking this beauty with us today. This is a White Airways Airbus A320 CEO with CFM engines. So this is White Airways. It's a chartered company from Portugal. You can see by the flag there. And we are basically going to take a beautiful destination, our passengers taken from a beautiful destination to another. To be honest, I never flew to Corsica, so this will be a first time. I flew to Corfu a few times, but not to Corsica, so it should be fun. Oh, was there a plane out here? Yeah, there's a plane up there, but flying way, way up there. You can see the contrails there. Now, let's prep our flight. Let's make it as quick as we can for today. So again, the plane is cold and dark, like I usually like to have my startup flights. Oh, nice! We're gonna have these analog. I see the standby instruments. I love this standby HSI. Not the HSI, the ADI. The ADI. All right. Got our external power in. Pretty cool features that once you get power to the plane, you also recharge your electronic flight pack. So the gyroscopes are starting up and we're gonna cage them, and it's pretty cool. Look at that. Don't make them any more like this. Alright, so systems are coming in alive. Let's just turn on ground control and start our ADIRs. Let them cook. Our signs on. We got an ACAM warning. Smoke detection fault. Let him conduct its startup procedures. We'll address that in a moment if we need. All right, so let's go prep our flight. So let's import it from Simbrief. So once more, we got this large advanced time because we are flying during the daytime for your enjoyment. These destinations deserve it. So now let's load the aircraft according to GSX, and we're going to make instant fueling. Alright, so GSX will do its thing now. There should be a bus. I don't know if this is a walk-in gate. Probably not. What are you doing, mate? What's going on? What is it doing? It's weird. So Bill. No, not yet. Alright, so let's load in our initial flight plan. It's a shame we don't have traffic. I mean, I can see is there an ATR? That looks like an ATR way up there. One single plane, apparently. Could be the case that I don't have all the liveries for the airlines here. I don't know. I got FSLTL and I got AIG, so all European operators are in, so not sure what's going on there. Could be chartered, and maybe I'm missing the charter airlines. Could be. In any case, there's nothing I can do about that right now. Let's go open our flight plan. It's just loading stuff on my side. Give me a moment here. Alright, so here we go. So cost index 5 is expected from White Airways, and we are going to fly White 23 X-ray with so let's insert that 23X, and we're going to cruise at flight level 380. Oh, so bit of a tall order. We're all right. I've not checked if the ATSU's got any new features. Well, it seems you can request weather. Not sure if this was here already. So let's request for our departure, which is, I never remember the LGKR. LGKR. Send. I think it already had weather. ATIS, can we request ATIS? Oh. LGKR, does it simulate departure? Oh no, it's for VATSIM, eval. Alright, it's CPDLC, but only in the online networks. It doesn't simulate. Nice. So all these were already in. I just never really had it. Can we request initiation? Let's see. Because this would be just like FSL, Flight Sim Labs. Let's see. Yes. Yes, you can. Look at that. And will it... Well, I already input this, so it's probably not transferring, but it should be able to press the orange button if not. That's nice. It's commonality with FSL. It makes things a little easier here for me in the future. All right. So wind data, that's a lot faster than FSL, but should take a moment to request. Let's listen to the ATIS. So let's tune in Kirkira ATIS 126.355. Let's just listen in them. What are you doing, mate?
Wind 255 at 11.
Yeah, it's a walk-in gate.
Or more. Few clouds at 2,500. Temperature tree 0. 2.17. QNH 1006.
006.
Landing and departing runway tree 4.
34.
Transition level 060. 5G notice in effect. Advise on initial contact you have information Foxtrot. Ioannis Kapodistrias Airport.
Alright, we got a ground frequency. All these people are going, what? Mate, just quit. All these people are leaving Corfu, a beautiful destination for vacation, to another beautiful destination, Corsica. So a few of the last passengers coming in. Again, a very empty airport. I suspect that's an ATR over there, but it could be scenery. I mean, there's an AN2 there. You can't see it from here, but there it is. There's an AN2. That's scenery. It's probably also scenery there. At least by the way it's pointing to the runway. If it's AI, it's usually parked the other way around. Alright, so let's request
QNH 1006.
1006 and cross-check. Let's request IFR clearance. Today I'm going to let my co-pilot do the
X-ray, ready to pick up IF or clearance to Campo del Oro.
Campo del Oro, that's our destination in Corsica.
Whitejet 23 X-ray, Kirkra ground. Expect runway 34, Tiger 2 Foxtrot
Alright.
Tiger 2 Foxtrot departure. Squawk 3535. Whitejet 23 X-ray.
Whitejet 23 X-ray. Read back correct. Call me back when ready for pushback.
No transitions. Alright.
Roger that. Whitejet 23 X-ray.
Let's set up the transponder, which is 3535. Might as well be 0001 because there's no one on the airport except me. Alright, so we got everything preset. We got airplane loaded, so let's start our APU to get the heck out of here. Waiting for the flap to open. GPS upgraded. So our INS is aligned. Let's conduct our fire tests. Left engine. I need to look at ECAM as well. Keep forgetting that. Engine 2. Yep, got it pop up here on the lower ECAM. APU fire. Working, and smoke fire detection. We had an ECAM warning earlier, so if there's an issue, we should be able to detect it right now. Yep, seems okay, so no issue. Alrighty then, so let's conduct our pilot briefing. Gear pins and covers have been removed. Fuel quantity, we got 7,300 kilograms on board. Seatbelt signs are on. Adheres to nav. Battle reference 1006. Cross-check. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. We can conduct the before start checklist as well. Parking brake is set. We got takeoff speeds and thrusts. We're gonna get to that. So let's go to performance. Let's sync and sync, calculate, and we got V1, VR, and V2, 136, 136, 139. We got flaps 2 and flex 64, flaps 2, and the trim is 0.4 down. Let's send this to the MCDU. Bingo. And now let's also send our final performance, final load sheet performance. Send to MCU. Let's confirm it. So we got 57.6, 32.6, 57.6, 32.6, and we got fuel on board. Block fuel is 7.3, confirmed. So initiation complete. So reduce this slightly. Alright, so we got everything set. Our APU can be started now. And we'll call it in for push and start in a moment. Let's just go for my charts. So we will depart. Do I have already start? No start charts yet. So let's sync. Oh yeah, so there it is. So we got a Tigra. So our departure from runway 34, and we should do this and go all the way to Tigra. So it's a quite easy path, nothing too serious about it. Right, so APU is available. Let's lead it in. Cancel external power. We got everything set up. Let's call our ground crew to initiate our pushback. Beacon on. And there's our marshal. And that guy is still doing his little rain dance. It's not gonna rain, buddy. Alright, they're gonna prep the Wow, nice Greek accent. Cool. So yeah, we're gonna set everything up before start checklist. Parking brake is set. Takeoff speeds and thrusts both set. Windows are closed. Red bands visible. And the beacon is on. Before start checklist complete. We got to bypass in. Thank you. Let's add a little brightness to our lives. Doug is coming in. I guess it's gonna raise us. We'll see if you can see the effect. Hey Andrew, hey Lucy Tiny. Yeah, it's Corfu. But unfortunately no other traffic than us. Alright, let's request push and start.
White Jet 23 X-ray. At ramp 2, request pushback.
White Jet 23 X-ray, Kirker ground. Pushback approved. Face northwest.
There we go.
Pushback and engine start approved.
We don't usually see this, so I'm going to show you the pushback procedure with the wing walkers. So there's a wing walker on the right side. I need to start the engines now. So according to Airbus, now every single procedure for starting up the engines will start with engine number 1. There's a wing walker there. Nice shorts. So previously it was at airline discretion, but due to a set of unfortunate events, it's now set to always start number 1. So the crew is always ready for number 1. Set up all the systems before we continue. So why am I facing north? Well, I do need to backtrack from there, so let's see what they do. 1 is available, let's start 2. So you see that gates 1 and 2, 3 are all lined up in this like little spot here, so we need to follow the exit lines. I'll show you. So that's what they're doing. Looks weird, but it's the see, we have to backtrack from there from position 2. It looks weird, but it's actually normal. Girl in shorts is not following the wing. She's gonna get fired. She should be somewhere next to the wing. Alright, it's good enough here. Oh, no, it's still gonna move us to the nice, thank you. That's helpful. So both engines have started. We can conduct our flight control tests in a moment. So let's set the trim, should be 0.04 up. There it is, 0.04, I'm looking here, so 0.04 up, and we moved the little wheels here to achieve that. You were asking about the fuel temperatures. Yeah, they're pretty cool. 30 degrees on both sides. Actually, that's not Fenix A320 fault. It's this program I got from SimFX. So there are some parking brakes set. There it is, quality hot brake smoke. So I'm actually gonna remove them because they're not realistic, like I explained. Let's call in our
Cockpit
good
to
engine
ground.
starts.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
As soon as we get clearance, let's go for the after start checklist. NTI is not required. ECAM status checked. Where am I? Pitch trim set 0.4. Confirmed. Rudder trim set to neutral. And after start checklist complete. Alright, let's perform the control page tests. So, full deflection left, neutral. Full deflection right, neutral. Full pitch up, neutral. Full pitch down, neutral. Full rudder left, neutral. Full rudder right, and neutral. Flight controls checked. Where's our pin guy? There he goes. Do you have our pin? Thank you, boy. Let's turn on our track IR. Oops, oh, that's funky. Yeah, bye-bye. Pleasant people here. Alright, request taxi to runway. We're going to need to make a nice backtrack.
For departure.
So flaps too.
White Jet 23 X-ray, runway 34 taxi via Alpha.
Runway 34 taxi via Alpha. White Jet 23 X-ray.
3-4 via Alpha. So we got everything set up here.
23 X-ray. Contact Kirker Tower 120.855.
Parking brakes off.
Contact Tower 120.855. White Jet 23 X-ray.
Oh no. Oh no, that's runway 16. Why? Stand by, let me reset beyond ATC. It's completely out of its mind. I'm sorry guys, it's really not my fault here. I'm gonna reset beyond ATC now. You confuse dedication with talent, Andrew. But thank you, your words are very kind.
Beyond ATC.
Alright, restart beyond ATC. Let's see if we can reset it to runway 1. I don't know what, I mean, I need to check the wind. I'm probably not gonna be able to. So let's switch to tower. Switch to tower. I'm operating beyond ATC. All right, we're gonna request departure from the runway. Hope for the best. If it needs me to request IFR clearance again. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do a U-turn. The wind. Let me check the winds real quick. If it's variable, I'll just backtrack from there. No, I really need to turn around. All right, let's do it. Let's do a U-turn here. No one's watching. It's not my fault. You guys saw that it advised me to turn east when I should have turned west. Well, sorry, it advised me to turn north when I should have turned south. So I need to backtrack this runway to depart to the opposite end. So for some reason it told me to move my nose to the opposite side. So let's see.
White Jet 23 X-ray. Holding short. Runway 34.
White Jet 23 X-ray, backtrack runway 34. Call
Alright.
when ready for departure.
Backtrack runway 34. Call when ready. White Jet 23 X-ray.
Let's backtrack. We'll be able to see the beautiful approach area from runway 34. It's actually very beautiful. So when we enter procedures, we always consider ourselves as bright as we can once we enter the runway. So always turn on the strobes, the nav lights, of course, but also the landing lights, even if you're not departing immediately. Let's imagine there's an airplane right now on the approach. You will have these landing lights that can be seen from very far away, so we can have proper illumination and we get seen. Alright, so let's taxi checklist. Taxi controls have been checked. Flap setting, flaps 2 according to planned. Radar and weather prediction, so let's weather prediction to auto, radar 2, system 1 on. Engine mode selector is set to norm, and ECAM memo status takeoff config no blue. Alright, taxi checklist, I'm sorry, ECAM status, that's it, no warning. So taxi checklist complete. As we turn around, we'll perform the lineup checklist, which is only 3 items. We're going a little too fast. I read someone complaining about this. Taxi speeds appear to be a bit too high on the new Fenix with the BFU. And these brakes, they just brake too hard. Look at this. Just giving a little sniff of a brake and it just turns the nose completely. So we are going to turn around, make a U-turn here. On runway 34. I don't remember the last time I had a flight that was completely uneventful, that went 100% as planned. There's always something. So I keep trying. I mean, I try to follow the procedures as best as I can, but there's always something going on. Alright, lineup checklists. Takeoff runway 34, check. TCAS is on and auto. Packs 1 and 2 are on. Lineup checklist complete. Let's call it in.
White Jet 23 X-ray, ready for departure, runway 34.
We got company message, we'll take a look.
White Jet 23 X-ray, Kirkira Tower, wind 255 at 11, runway 34, cleared for takeoff.
We gotta get some winds from the right side.
Runway 34, cleared for takeoff. White
Here we
Jet
go.
23 X-ray.
So these are the CFM engines. They should be crispier than... Yeah, I prefer the IAE engines now. The sound, I mean. But it does still sound nice, but the IAE engines sound amazing. Like we flew yesterday. 100. V1, rotate. Positive rate. Brakes applied, gear up.
White Jet 23 X-ray, reset transponder. Squawk 4236.
Okay, it's giving me a new transponder because I
4236. White jet
I
23
restarted beyond ATC, remember? So I need to do that in a moment. Always remember, aviate, navigate, communicate. So now I need to aviate. Speed check flaps 1. Left hand turn. That was a nose down attitude, not induced by me. And flaps 1, speed check flaps 1. Up. Alright, let's set the autopilot engaged. Oh, alpha floor. Why? What's happened? What just happened there? You saw the orange stripe coming up. That's the alpha floor. For some reason, it went up and down. Right, before I try to do anything, let me just show you Corfu. It's beautiful. That's the runway we took off from, right over there. And this is a beautiful island. Oh, going into the clouds. That's Greece, so mainland Greece. This is Corfu. And this is us. Shame that we are in the clouds at the moment, because this is a beautiful island. Alright, we're turning in for the interception, so let's reset our squawk 4236. There we go.
White jet 23 X-ray. Contact Kirkura departure 122.355.
122.355.
Contact Kirkura departure 122.355. White jet 23 X-ray. Kirkura, White jet 23 X-ray. Good day, 5,300 feet.
White jet 23 X-ray. Kirkura departure. Good day. Identified. Climb to flight level 190.
190.
Climb to flight level 190. White jet 23 X-ray.
Let's go back to our chart. So we're off Tigra. Yeah, we're already out of the SID. So yeah, we're already climbing out of the island on our way to Italy, direct to Italy. We're still in Kirkura radar, but sorry about that. I was just adjusting my seat. So let's address the company message we got. Okay, load sheet. We already confirmed that. And the other load sheet also been confirmed. Now for the weather data, yeah, we already saw that, we had 11 knots from 260. There's no way I could make a... If I had like a slight side wind or variable wind, I would do it. I would take off against in favor of the wind, but not like that. So our constraints are over, so we needed to go to 210 knots till the intercept. And we are still performing this Tigra 2F departure, but for some reason it's not showing up here on this particular chart. But it is Tigra 2F for sure. Yeah, say goodbye to Corfu. in Greece. We are now going to the French island of Corsica. Yet another tourist destination. Oh, completely forgot to launch my chronometer. Alright, so it's not going to be a long flight, but I'll still accelerate time a bit, so it will make it shorter. So we're past 10,000 feet, landing lights off. Now let's see how the flow goes. After Tigre, I'll turn off the seatbelt signs. We got some nose wind up ahead. I'm gonna pick something here from the options. Which is where is that? I don't want this cup, suction cups. I want it to be on the fuselage. You'll see why in a moment. I know I can pick this from here. There it is, frame. Alright. Because with the suction cups, I can't do this. I know. I want to be...
White Jet 23 X-ray. Contact Athens Control
135.875.
Contact Athens Control 135.875. White Jet 23 X-ray. Have a good day.
There you go.
Athens Control, White Jet 23 X-ray. Good day. Crossing flight level 168 for flight level.
Going to be cleared for 380.
White Jet 23 X-ray. Athens Control. Radar contact. Climb to flight level 380.
There it is.
Climb to flight level 380.
Alright.
23 X-ray.
After this left-hand turn to Tigre, I'll turn off the seatbelt signs for our precious passengers. Let's go back to our charts. Alright, it looks like a quick flight, but it's not. Look at this. Still have to go all the way through Italy's boot, over Sicily until we reach... Well, not over Sicily, because Corsica is north of Sicily. What I mean is we need to go through Italy, pass north of Sicily, direct to Corsica. We're almost out of Greek airspace. This dotted green light. Sardinia. Gotcha. Yeah, Sardinia. Sicily is where the boot's kicking, right? So I mixed them up. So Sicily is this one, right? That's the other one over there. That's Sardinia. This is Sicily. Will be handed over in a moment. We are passing Tigre now. So you see there is Greek traffic, so Air Crete, we got Sky Travel. They're just not going to Corfu, so it's a shame. We even have African Airlines, Africa. Alright, they're going to turn. Let's turn off my track IR here. engaging to turn. So we're now gonna turn off the seatbelt signs and we'll time accelerate at least to go over Italy.
White Jet 23 X-ray. Contact Brindisi Military 129 at decimal
Brindisi
775.
military. Why Brindisi? Because we're crossing.
Center on 129er, decimal 775. White Jet 23 X-ray.
Oh, I see. Because this, yeah, all right. So this is.
Brindisi Military, White Jet 23 X-ray. Good day.
Yeah, this is the military control on this side, and then we'll have we'll go through Rome. Oh, this is the military side, and this is the Rome FIR. So we'll go through two different fears for FIR from around Italy. And you can see here, this is a funky approach. I'm not sure this is correct, but it's really funky. Because we're going to make like a lasso turn. It's really cool, actually. So let's let's make our planning for the descent. So we are going to go via Ascag to Sierra, so let's prep that for runway 02 at Corsica. Arrival, runway 0, oh, we got ILS, nice. What's the name of it? Ascag, I passed Ascag. Ascag to Sierra, right? Yep, to Sierra. Alright, no Vias. We got Oro. The R. Now let's do it. I'm not sure. This might give me a holding point for some reason. No transitions. Insert. Alrighty. Now let's request the first of many. What am I doing? The first of many. I just need to press ATC COM. I keep messing this up. First of many weather requests for Corsica. So let's input LFKJ. LFKJ. METAR and TAF. Send. Let's go back to messages. Not yet. Just need to wait for them, I suppose. There it is. So LFKJ, we got winds 200 at 7. KVOC, that's good. Wind temperature 26. QNH 1012, no significant change. And if we go to the TAF, from 29 to 31, so it's a huge gap. Winds 240 at 10, so slightly different, becoming 29er 18. Oh, cumulonimbus. Oh, that's nasty, but it's probably not going to affect us because this is for 14 Zulu time, so it's been quite some time. And it's only the prediction. So, as we can see here on the current METAR, there's no significant weather. On the FS slabs, we do have the live weather chart, which is always helpful, but we don't need it now. So let's insert this data. So we will revisit the METAR, of course, but we'll need to prep for now. So QNH 1012. So this is the weather data for the destination. Temperature 26. And the winds. These are the downloaded en route winds, but we got the current winds. So it's 200 at 7. So let's do that. 200 7. And we got, actually, is it 200 or 300? I can't see it from here. Need to turn on my track IR, line it up, and confirm it's 200. Yeah, got it. Track IR is all borked up. Sorry for the now it's off. Alrighty. Now let's prep the approach itself. This is a bug. This is a bug. It's saying that it's detecting a fault on my sight stick, but it's only a bug. It's no big deal. Let me just confirm my stick is working. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, it's a bug. They've identified it. Oh, Phoenix did. So let's look at the charts for ASCAG, which is this one. So basically we come from ASCAG all the way to KJ890, make a left-hand turn, sorry, then another left-hand turn to Oro, and then in Oro we should go through ILS runway 02, which is this one. I'm picking the Zulu Ryanair. Let's go for the minimums for this approach. So we got minimums for the ILS for Cat 1. I don't think we're gonna need to do anything more than Cat 1. We got a missed approach gradients, so we got the decision height at it's hard to read this. What's Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta? This is where I sometimes block when I see these things. That's for the Yankees, they're similar, so let's go. I'm gonna pick the first one, 755 feet. For barrel reference, 755 feet. Since this is an island approach, we sometimes are required to make some steep descents for some reason. Oh, ground spoilers are still armed. My bad. And so we may require to do some landing performance evaluation once we go down. But at 755 feet, it's give us a good advantage in terms of distance and altitude to abort landing. So this is basically what you're saying. You're saying that you want to abort landing the decision height or continue at this altitude. Now, if I'm not mistaken, and I may need to check this, this is set up for FPS, FPA. So if we depending on the gradient that we have, we can pick a Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, or Delta. We got some clearances. So the gradients, depending on what decision height we will require. This is very hard for me to explain because I'm not really that savvy. What we need to do is we need to look at our approach plate, and we need to know that we are going to get our decision height at approximately 4 nautical miles. You can see these arrows here, they're the decision height, and they're variable because of this, because of the gradients. Now, I would require to go back to to my books to actually understand this first and then explain afterwards. What we need to do is we need to reach this point here, which should be DME. So this is not steer points, all right? These are DME distances. The triangles are. Let me zoom in a little bit. What it's telling me is that at this point here, which coincides with this point here, so this is DME 9.4, the DME corresponding to the runway DME, so ILS DME. So at 9.4 DME from the runway, I should be at 2,900 feet. And then there's a gradient, a descent gradient for the runway itself. So, for example, at 6 DME, so 6 nautical miles from the landing, I should intercept both the glide slope and the localizer at or above, or at actually, not above, 1,920 feet. All right, this is the only, apparently, the only altitude requirement we got. All the others depend on the gradient, and we really need to trust the ILS glide slope, which should be somewhere in the 3 degrees descent rate, or 3 degrees descent. It's complicated, I know, but all you need to do if you don't really want to go that deep into reading charts, all you need to know is trust the glide slope. We're coming up on the cruise altitude. Trust the glide slope. Don't go up, don't go down, just follow it through. And sometimes it can be a little steep. Not all glide slopes are 3 degrees. It can be a little more, a little less. And yeah, just trust the instruments, which is something that, believe it or not, some pilots at some given points, because of various reasons, because the instruments don't look okay for some reason, because they don't trust what they're looking at, they will not trust the indicators, the indications. We'll come back here to. I'm just inputting this to have it pre-filled. So some pilots will not trust their instruments, which it sounds weird, but it does happen. There are many cases where you can read investigation reports where they clearly say the pilots didn't trust their instruments, therefore they committed this or that error. It has happened. So as for ILS, trust the instruments, trust the needles. And especially when there's spatial disorientation, so let's say that you enter a cumulonimbus cloud for some reason. You shouldn't do that in the first place, but let's say you do it either by accident or by I did press the didn't I? Maybe I didn't. By default or by accident or by design, you enter a cumulonimbus cloud. The winds are so strong they can pull you up and down, but also they can have your plane rotate. And if you don't trust this little artificial horizon you got here, or this one, you might not even realize that you're upside down. Or if you're climbing and you don't have an airspeed indication, for some reason your pitot tubes froze. For example, what happened in Air France flight over the ocean, with crash over the ocean. They didn't trust their instruments because they had full power and the airspeed wasn't responding, so they had an overspeed at some point because they really were overspeeding. But there was a disagreement between the instruments and they didn't trust the instruments. Now, for them, they didn't really know which instrument was telling the truth, because they were all saying different things, but yeah, it can happen. Pilots trust themselves way too much sometimes, and this is absolutely human. I'm not making any kind of critical comment. It's just the way it is. Pilots will trust themselves more than they trust the plane sometimes, and there's a reason why planes are so automated these days. So back to our flight. As you can see, we got some nasty nose wind, 72 knots. You can see that we're tracking 273, but our course is 283, 284. Actually, no, 281, I would say. So we're pointing, our nose is pointing to 276 to 277, but our course, our true course for the for ectol should be where the diamond is, so closer to 285. So yeah, this is a huge gap. It's because of this crosswind pushing us to the side. You can also see the same here. So we're pointing at 276 more or less, but our course is at 284. So yeah, if we didn't have this correction, let's say if I didn't know where the wind's coming, if I didn't know how to correct the wind, you can imagine that I may be following the course, but I would literally be flying a huge ellipse instead of a direct 2. So coming out of this waypoint Mokto to reach Edsall, if I don't have wind correction by rudder, effectively the airplane's controlling the rudder, if I didn't have it, I would literally make a curve like this to reach Ecto, and that would mean fuel waste, extra fuel consumption. And you would say, well, why don't you fly straight, so like a straight line between your origin and your destination? Why did you just draw a straight line? Well, there's something called Earth's curvature. I know, there's a lot of flat earthers out there. Don't mean to upset you, but it's true. If you fly a straight line, or if you try to fly a straight line, you will miss your target completely. So you need to follow this. This is a bigger curve than I would say would be necessary, but let's say if you fly from Europe to the United States, you will definitely fly a curve. And there are some funky flights that you can see. Actually, you can take a look at some flights that go through the Antarctica or the North Pole, and you will see that it's not a straight line. For you, it's not a straight line, but for the plane it is. Why? Because the Earth rotates, and when you're moving, you're actually making sure that you accompany the Earth's rotation, or you'll completely miss your target. Of course, with magnetic deviation with our compasses, that's going to be hard to happen, but let's imagine that you're only flying a straight line and you don't have any kind of ways to correct it, then you will definitely miss your spot. You would be way off. So a straight line is still the shortest path between points, but given the fact that Earth is curved and it's not standing still, it rotates, you need to accompany Earth's rotation and Earth's circumference. I know, there's too much geometry and math, but trust me, I'm not a math guy. I'm a words guy. I'm not a math guy. I follow literature in school, so this is not me talking. This is just me trying to make sense of things for you guys. So again, this is Fenix Airbus A320 in this beautiful White Airways charter flight out of Corfu to Corsica. It's my first time flying to Corsica, so things may not go that good, but then again, no flight that I've done here ever went 100% okay. If you just showed up starting this stream, the ATC told me to push back to the wrong side. So I had to reset beyond ATC to get it at least not. Well, if the thing is, if I continue to taxi the wrong way, I might get some issues with beyond ATC. So I might as well just reset beyond ATC. I was also hoping it could lead me to runway 16, the opposite runway, but it didn't. This is the new Fenix A320. It's not new, the plane's been around for some time, but what I mean is that they updated it. And now with Big Fenix Update, or BFU, we got a lot of new stuff, including better sounds, some update to the visuals. I mean, look at this texturing, look at this effects on the fuselage. You can almost see the bending on the aluminum here. I already told them, to Phoenix, I'm not a great fan of this pointy nose. I think the Airbus nose is not this pointy. Should be a little rounder. At least this is my perception. I probably flew too many simulators over the years and just got a wrong idea. I also think the windows should be slightly bigger, not this narrow, but you know, it's no big deal. Anything else about this plane is just pure enjoyment. Look at the wing flex. Look at that. Not many airliners do the wing flex. Now, for someone that don't follow simulators, this might look frivolous, and it's purely cosmetic. You would be right to say so. But those that do fly on a regular basis find these small details really appealing, and it adds to immersion, and people just love to have little immersive details. For example, I love that the Unibuild's A350, when it's taxiing and touching down, the horizontal stabilizer will shake. There are some things missing on the Phoenix. For example, they never included engine vibration, but that's by design because they have this. They have the wing lights projected realistically, and so they say that in order to have this, they needed to let go of engine vibration. And you know what? It's alright. There are worse things in life. We can live without engine vibration, and I dare you to live without wing lights or wing, because this is how you look through the wing and you verify ice formation. So the wing lights are more important for sure than engine vibration. But I'm pretty sure that one day they'll be able to add engine vibration as well. So this is Italy. I'll show you exactly where we are on the map. So we're in the boot right now. We're almost being cleared for Rome. It's probably not Rome. It's probably going to be well, yeah, it is Rome. It's written right here. So it's going to be Rome FIR. So we're going to be sent to Rome radar. After that, we'll fly for a moment until we're going to fly over the Mediterranean Ocean until we reach the sea. It's not an ocean, Mediterranean Sea, until we reach the Corsica island, which will be sent to the French. This is Marseille FIR, so Corsica is within Marseille FIR, and then they will definitely send us in for probably Corsica Tower. We'll see. Or radar. I don't know if Corsica has a radar. We'll see. Should be an uneventful flight. So currently we are in cruise, so I think it's safe to engage warp speed. So let me recall where there it is. So let's go 4 times speed. So we are engaged in warp speed now. I need to monitor this because sometimes it will, especially with wind like we have now, it might go. Hello, Jose, how are you? As I was saying, we might have some issues with 4 times speed. I need to monitor it. We got a company message. I was just looking at this comm menu. No, nothing new here. So we got a message from our company. Oh, White Airways ops. So we got an ADC for 90 seconds. So, all right. Actually, no. I was misreading it. It's 905 minutes. That's because I changed the system time to be to make it a day flight, so it's completely messed up. It's telling me I need to add a delay for 355 minutes.
Have a good day.
I'm doing okay, Jose. How are you? Did you test the camera already?
Rome radar. White jet 2
Made a couple of videos with it. How's the picture? Is any good? Must be. The lens looks big. So for those that don't know, Jose is the host at Airport Wings plane spotting channel, one of my personal friends, along with Andrew and Lusitani. And he recently had a small hiccup. His camera stopped functioning correctly. So we are already at Rome radar. By the way, this window is completely optional. I only have it on for you guys to see. Yeah, looking forward for tomorrow, Jose. Really am. I've been watching other channels, and you know, it's not like what you do. Oh. See, this is what I meant. It started vibrating an awful lot. So I need to be careful. Always have the menu open to make sure if things go haywire that I can just go back to normal. The trick, if you're ever time accelerating and you start having issues, the trick is always go to. You can't see it because it's behind the upper menu, but there's a button on the top called Toggle Active Pause. I think you can see it now. And if you ever are time accelerating and you encounter like a huge vibration due to wind or something, just pause and calmly just remove the sim rate back to normal like this and just wait. And then you remove the active pause, because trust me, I've done it a lot of times and it's very scary when it starts vibrating too much. So we are still in Italy, but as you can see, I am at about 100 miles from my top of descent. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start planning my descent, hoping that they give me the descent I pre-planned, but we'll see. So we'll go back to the, no, not the company. We'll go back to the AOC menu, weather, and request again for, wow, what? LFKJ. I keep forgetting LFKJ. It's first time flying here, so bear with me. Now this time I'm only going to ask for the METAR, send, back to flight plan. I can also do it here, but I prefer to do it at like the pros, and we'll prepare our descent. So let's see, receive messages. Weather data. Alright, so weather looks pretty much the same. 200 at 6, temperature 25. Actually, there are some changes, so let's do performance. QNH 1013, that's changed. Temperature 25. And now 200 at 6 knots. So you see these small variables, they can really mess up your flight, your approach and your landing. So I know it's just 1 degree, just 1 knot, but it's enough to have a different VAP. So approach speed. So currently it's 136. If the wind changes, this VAP might need to be slightly higher to counteract the wind for something like that. Now, here's the troubling part. Beyond ATC regularly borks the wind, so it's not every single time, but it does happen. So if that happens, it might give me a different approach than the one I already have now, and the one I have now seems to be in accordance. So 20086, and we're approaching runway 02. So, oh, what am I doing? We're approaching runway 02. So if it borks the wind, instead of doing this approach, it might tell me to do the opposite approach. I've had some very nasty experiences like that. For example, the video that you have here on my channel of the Airbus A320 landing with severe crosswinds, tail crosswinds, 41 knots. That's a wind shear, I know, but still it was pointing me to the wrong direction. This is a beyond ATC issue. As far as I've been reading on their Discord, they say that this can happen because the AI takes real-time information from actual planes landing at that given airport. So if for some reason your weather system, your own weather system, is not updated, I have my updates set to 10 minutes. So in every 10 minutes, it will update METAR. If for some reason your updates are a little slow, and in real time in Frankfurt or wherever you're going, the runways change, but your weather doesn't, you will have tailwind. And this happens a lot with Beyond ATC. So it's always scary at this point to wait for the descent clearance, and they will tell me which runway I'll make my approach to. But we're not mice, we're men. We're expecting runway 02 via the ASCA 2 Sierra Star via Oro. So this is what we're expecting. We're just waiting for it to tell us what it wants us to do. And we're at 580 something miles from our top of descent, so we'll probably get it closer to 40 miles. It will start giving us the descent clearance. As you can see, the skies are a little shaky. That's because there's a big storm happening in Europe currently. There's some really bad weather in Europe currently. Central Europe mostly. Now, I don't think we got weather here. FS Labs depicts weather formations in the map. So this is a very helpful information. I think that's supplied by Navigraph, but unfortunately this map is also Navigraph, but we don't have that option here. Let me see if I have it on the other. No, we don't have it. So if I pull my weather app, you guys can do that too. You can easily go to the weather app for Europe. You'll see that currently it's a bit rough in European airspace, especially around Germany. Yesterday, well, today we're still having some wildfires in Portugal. So really hot, really sunny, but hot, too hot in my opinion. But while we're having wildfires all over the country, it was raining in northern Spain. So pretty ironic. Why doesn't the rain come down to Portugal and put out the fires? Yeah. Meanwhile, in France, Germany, Holland, there was some severe weather systems. Welcome back, Andrew. So I'm gonna verify real quick if we're gonna have bad weather in our approach to Corsica. Stand by. And no, actually the weather is gonna be fine and dandy. Some clouds coming up from the south, from Sardinia. Nothing that will affect our flight. So, good news, I suppose. And there's a funky approach that we're gonna make with a little lasso there, making a right-hand turn in to the approach. This is the approach I pre-programmed. This is the approach I would like to make, intercepting the Ajaccio VOR, then left-hand turn, and all the way down to the airport, which is called Napoleon Bonaparte. I didn't know that. It has multiple names. I've seen Napoleon Bonaparte something Delors Airport, something like that. To all the 19 people watching, at least that's what my YouTube is saying. Thank you so much for being here. Remember to press like and subscribe. It really helps me. Remember, I'm giving away an FS Labs A321neo. In order to win it, you just have to tell me here on chat why it should be you winning it. But of course I first need to hit 100 like or subs. So if I get 100 subs within these 2 weeks and I'm doing these special live streams, hopefully I can get to the 100. If I do, I'll give away one FS Labs A321neo, a courtesy from Flight Sim Labs themselves that offered me the key to give you guys. And I'm really hoping that we can make someone happy. That didn't sound good, did it? Make someone happy. That sounded really, really dodgy. It's true. I like to see people happy. The reason why this channel is up is because I like to make people happy. And if they like aviation like I do, then by all means I'll spill the beans. I tell you everything I know, even if it's wrong. Nah, I'm just joking. Oh, I see some hearts. Thank you, whoever did that. I never remember that we can... How do you do that? Let me... Oh, it's on the right side, right there. There's a little faces. Let's see, happy face. Happy faces. Happy faces for everybody. You know, life is so short. I recently lost, not a friend, but someone I know, an acquaintance, a young guy, younger than me. That's always devastating. So, like I told recently a friend, live life, love intensely, because tomorrow may be too late. Andrew, you know what I mean. You know, you know who I'm talking about. It's not a private joke, it's just a private conversation. It's just people go through stuff, and when we go through stuff, it's when we remember how fragile life is. And yesterday I was making this analogy, and I apologize if it's gonna sound cheesy, but yesterday we were flying out of Austria, and it was completely covered in clouds. And I gave the analogy that when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling blue, and it looks like everything is nasty, everything is bad, and the skies are gray. Remember the sun. Where is the sun? Sun is always up there. It always shines, and when you fly, you breach through the clouds and you find the sun. Remember that no matter what the storm is, it will go away, and the sun is always up there. Alright, there we go. Runway 20, see? God, gosh darn it.
Expect ASCAG 2 November, runway 20.
Ah, my God. Alright, so we're gonna need to change the arrival. So I don't think runway 20, runway 20 does not have an ILS. We're gonna do our nav. ASCAG 2 Sierra. Does it have a VIA? We need a KJ 600. See all the fuzz that I need to change now? So this is going to be ASCAG 2 November, this one. So ASCAG 2 November will force me to go all the way up here and then come down here to Idol. So we are going to need to make a transition via .506. Is this true? ASCAG 2 November? Yeah, it's 2 November. Alright, let's pick this one up. And all these ILSs are wrong now. See, this is exactly what I was talking about. So let's try an RNP. I don't think there's an RNP. So I think we only going to have an RNAV approach. Yeah. Oh, we do have an RNP. All right. So what's a transition? KJ 600? Is that it? Or 601? We'll need to make a link. So we're going to Idol. Out of Idol, there is no Idol here. How do I make the connection? We need to go to Idol at 4,000 feet. So Idol is right there on the tip, right here. So if we do this, we're gonna need to make a right-hand turn to come back to Idol, right? So we might as well just, yeah, we go to 600, so screw it. All right. This is not going to be a good approach. All right, we're ready for descent now.
ASCAG 2 November, runway 20, ready for descent. White Jet 23 X-ray.
White Jet 23 X-ray, descend to flight level 140.
Here we go, 140.
Descent to flight level 140, White Jet 23 X-ray.
There we go. Nice and steady. We started descent before the top of descent. It's completely normal. Yeah, thanks guys. It's an analogy that I've used since I was a kid, really, because I've always had my head above the clouds. I always loved aviation. And I always thought whenever there were cloudy days, rainy days, and I get the chance to fly, sometimes I would fly in the cockpit because I had some friends in various airlines. It was quite a privilege. And we took off from rainy Lisbon and we just burst through the clouds, and it was shiny white clouds and this bright sun. I always thought, yeah, this is a good metaphor for life. But no matter how much trouble we go through, the sun is always up there. It's just the fact that we don't see it that makes us sometimes a little bit sad, but we can trust the sun is up there. And if only we could get ourselves a brand new Airbus A320 to do our own flying, right? what we get, but we must always trust that one day the clouds will go and the sun will shine again. So I'm sorry, this is not a psychology or self-help channel. It's just a metaphor. Alright, so we still have some nose wind. I sincerely hope it's not going to send us against the wind. So we're going to check our METAR again. This time I'm not going to waste time. Let's just recycle it here. Alright, 260 at 11. Yeah, it's probably best to land at runway 20. But still, I'm not sure. I never landed there. I'm not sure if runway 20 is a good approach or not, an easy approach or not. So we're not mice. We'll do it. Let's just go to performance and confirm it again. So QNH 1007. Oh, that's way off. I hope this isn't incorrect. And 260 at 11. Temperature 27. Yeah, it's way off. What the heck? Did I pick the wrong airport? I probably did it, didn't I?
Fenix 8 Tango Whiskey. Contact Milan radar 124.925. Have a good
LFKJ? No. Oh, this is the departure. Oh, what am I doing? I'm sorry. I only had a beer for lunch. Apparently it was too much. So, yeah, 1013 was correct. $20086 was also correct. And temperature 25. Alright, now it's done correctly. Alright, so sorry about that. Too many beers will lead you to misunderstanding METARs. Apologies. So we're crossing 30,000 feet and descending. This just a little Airbus lesson. So this little ball, the green ball here, this is the managed descent ball. So this is the optimum descent rate to follow the correct flight plan and maintain the proper altitudes, including the constraints, which are these altitudes here in purple or magenta. I'll explain what they mean in a moment. Right here we have our current airspeed in yellow, and then we have the managed speed and the brackets. The brackets indicate the minimum and maximum deflection, or the maximum deviation from our selected speed. So we're currently on the lower speed. This is also managed by our cost index, so it's a calculation. Previously this airplane had a lot of trouble following this VNAV path. Basically it would accelerate almost beyond maximum deviation. Now Fenix has really touched it, and now it appears to be more accurate. I would still prefer the yellow bracket to be, I'm sorry, the yellow triangle would be inside the magenta bracket. So that means that it would need to accelerate a little more in order to reach those 250 knots, but it's perfectly acceptable. And also I prefer to be below 250 knots when going down below 10,000 feet, because 250 knots is the maximum speed below 10,000 feet. That's a universal law rule on all airspaces. So it's best that we are below the maximum speed, maximum allowed speed, than above it. Now regarding the managed descent rate, it will always try to maintain the descent rate. As you can see now, it will start to accelerate ever so slightly. There you go, because we are reaching the minimum speed. Airbus is famous for the requiring speed brakes when descending because it's so aerodynamically sleek that it can't really decelerate that well. So it's still going to need some powering to go back to within the bracket. But it's alright, we're saving fuel as much as we can. We got a very low cost index of 5, so cost index is basically a mathematical equation to how much fuel you want to spend per trip. Now, as you can imagine, some airlines don't really care for that and they will just go full cost index, but others, they are very conscious about consumption, fuel consumption, and they will require some very low cost index. Plus, it's calculated per season, per oil prices. There's a lot of factors put into it. In this flight, we got a cost index of 5, so it's very low. So that's the reason why we're having some lower speeds through and through. Now let's go here to calculate our arrival performance. Now we changed for runway 02. We're going to apply the METAR, and now we're going to calculate the landing weight. So how do you do that? So first of all, you need to calculate the fuel on board, which the expected fuel on board, which should be, according to our FMC calculations, 3.5 tons. Now add that to our gross weight, which is, well, not gross weight, zero fuel weight. So 57.6 is our zero fuel. So like the not the empty plane, but the completely fuelless or no fueled. Oh, you know what I mean. Completely empty tanks. Airbus, so it will be 57.6 plus our expected fuel on board, which is 3.5, and we would get 61.1. I'm not good at math, but I think I got that right. So 60.1. No, 61.1. That's it. So this is what we are going to calculate here. 61.1. And bam, this is our landing distance. So we're going to require the full runway length is 2,300 meters, and we are going to be able to land at 1,477 meters with flaps full and medium brake, manual landing. This is no rev, we're going to need max rev. If I want to increase this for whatever reason, if I have much more runway and I want to leave in a different taxiway, and I can extend that by landing with flaps 3, I can reduce that to low brakes. You can see that I can't do that. I'll overshoot the runway. I'll actually be able to land inside, but there's a minimum, there's like a buffer that I cannot exceed, even with flaps full. So I want to need medium brakes and probably land flaps 3. We're not going to do that. We're just going to make maximum reverse, medium brakes, flap full. It appears the runway is a little short. Still doable for an Airbus A320, but let's not take chances. So back to, hopefully ASCAG will be getting to this point here pretty soon. There it is. Now regarding constraints, this little button here. So constraints are those magenta numbers that I'm flashing now. Constraints are, according to the flight plan, minimum or maximum altitudes, minimum or maximum speeds. Most likely it's maximum speeds. So right now in ASCAG, I know that I need to be below flight level 140 and above flight level 100, and I need to be within those altitudes. In some other waypoints you'll see that you need to be above 7,500, but I don't need to be, there's no upper restriction. So in terms of airspeed, it's most likely 200 knots like we can see here, or something like that. That's the maximum speed you need to be. You need to be below that speed. This is because most of the times we are handling aircraft by or horizontal separation. So there are other planes in the circuit, and they are all following the same rules to make sure that we don't crash into each other. If I don't obey to these constraints and just go with the speed that I want and the altitudes I want, I'm going to create an issue within the airspace. So we can see Corsica up ahead. There's some tall mountains there. I think we're going to get clearance because the minimum altitude is 7,500 or flight level 075. Should be fine. Weather doesn't appear to be a factor like I predicted. Major weather up north for sure in France, but not here. How do I tick this off? Yeah, like that. So remember guys, if you want to fly with style, just like me, this is a Fenix A320 CEO, not a Neo. It's a wonderful plane developed by Fenix Simulations. However, I'm giving away an FS Labs A321 Neo. So if you don't want to miss that chance, help me reach 100 subscribers first within these 2 weeks that I'm doing these special lives. And also come here to the chat and tell me exactly why you should win this plane for yourself. And I'll gladly give you an FS Labs A321 Neo, which I believe is priced at something like $75. That's a lot of money. The module is worth it, I guarantee to you. I mean, I'm not flying it right now, but I flew it, and you can check my channel to see many flights that I've done with it already. It's a brilliant plane. It has some things the Fenix doesn't have, like the MEL, so the minimum equipment list, you have accumulated failures, you have weathering effects, you have a lot of visual effects that you don't have on any other planes. So yeah, it's a good option to the Fenix. Fenix currently doesn't have the Neo, so that's a plus. You can fly the Neo with FS Labs, yeah, both planes are awesome. I would say that the FS Labs is more technical in a good way. Fenix is also pretty deep. I think it's even deeper than FS Labs in some areas in terms of systems. But what Fenix really earns the credits is for the textures, 3D model, and sound. I'm sorry, FS Labs, you're just gonna have to up your game. Fenix really did a good job here with this newest update, and I'm sure that they'll definitely get there. So we're reaching our initial constraint of flight level 140, so 14,000 feet. This is our flashing yellow box around the altitude, telling us that we are reaching our assigned altitude for managed descent. We will probably get the clearance a little further down because we need to cover those mountains first. Here we are maintaining altitude. The speed constraints are gone, so we're now aiming to keep the speed within the... That was odd. What? It's skipping on. Oh, time accelerations. You heard it. It started skipping my text here. Ayacho. That's how it's called. Ayacho. RNAV 20, so that's good. But it's going to give me radar vectors, which is bad.
QNH1013, expect radar vectors for RNAV runway 20.
That's bad. You don't need radar vectors if you got a charted approach. What?
Descend to flight level 100. White jet 23 X-ray.
Like I was saying, you don't need radar vectors if you got a charted approach, and we do. You only need radar vectors if for some reason you're not. Why is my plane so offset? I think it's flying directly to KJ 505. No, KJ 880. Where is KJ 880? Did I pick the wrong approach again? I certainly did not. ASCAC 2 Sierra. ASCAC 2 November. RNF 20. 2 November. There's what I'm doing wrong. So I need to go back to tracking. Insert. I did. Insert. And now turn. My bad. It was certainly 2 November, I remember. Yeah, ASCAC 2 November. My bad. It's still going. So let's appreciate the view. Don't mind the approach hiccup. So let's go back to manage descent. Don't need meters. I can show you the meters. It's just an extra thing on my screen though. So we got altitude in meters. It's only used in some countries where they don't use feet for altitude. They use meters, like China, for example. They use meters. But it's really confusing to fly with meters. I've listened to some ATC conversations, and the pilots that transition from feet to meters, they really need some proper training to make their calculations in meters. In Russia, they even give you the winds in meters, which is even worse, I think. So let me confirm here that we got this. Oh, there's a speed error. All right. Let me confirm we got the transition correctly, because now we need to make sure that our interceptions are correct. And there appears to be a slight issue here. But well, that's a bridge we'll cross once we reach it. Let's get to that face. All right. Beautiful landscape, Corsica. So the airport is somewhere over there, on the left side. I'll turn on Trek IR in a moment, just saving battery. My Trek IR is battery powered, so I prefer to turn it on when I really need it. Besides, it can get really confusing for you guys if I keep moving my head too much. So there's the airport right down there somewhere. We're gonna need to go up front, make a left-hand turn, and make a right-hand turn and come back and land, which I think is too much, but it's what the charts tells us to do, so you can see here. So the 2 November, which we are following right now, will tell us to go all the way here, make a left-hand turn, then come back here, but then you want to land here on this running in this direction. So I would think that it would tell us to do this and that, but it's not what it's telling us to do on the RNAV approach itself. So the RNAV approach tells us that this is where that final waypoint here is. It tells us that we need to go, so we are coming from here and we need to go to here. I would love to just go all the way to, so if I turn here, I'll just turn left again to the north and then go back down, but that's not what this chart is telling us to do. I'm sure there's a reason for that. Dominant winds, traffic flow, whatever. It just doesn't look that good, in my humble opinion. And performance-wise, it's going to be a mess. Let me just confirm with all these twists and turns. Yeah, we're gonna actually have more fuel than previously expected. Cabin's ready, which is always nice. On FS Labs, sometimes we need to wait for the cabin to get ready for takeoff on landing. So here they do it quite professionally well. So oh, that's not the airport. The airport's here. So, haha, there are two bays apparently in Corsica. So the airport's somewhere over here. We're just going to cross it a little bit. So it's telling me it's up there somewhere. Can't see it right now. Is that it? Zoom in. Yeah, that's it. That's the airport. It's also a beautiful approach. Thank you for this tip, Lusitani. Look at that. That beach over there. There's going to be a nice little beach down there. Apparently it used to have 2 runways, but they probably deactivated the crossing one, just kept this one. So we're going to make a landing from north to south. So we're going to land, we're not going to land by the beach, unfortunately. We'll see.
White Jet 23 X-ray, descend to 4,000 feet, QN H1013.
Descend 4,000 feet.
Descend to 4,000 feet, QN H1013, White Jet 23 X-ray.
Alright, let's reduce our ranges here. Yeah, you can see here how we are overlapping our path. So we're going to go up, forward and left, and then come back here and do the opposite to land. Again, there must be a reason for that, but yeah, Lusitani, but as you can see, we're going to land the opposite way, unfortunately. But don't worry, I'll come back to Corsica. I like this. Look at that bay; it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Look at that. Let's look through from the outside. Look at that. I wouldn't mind spending some vacation on that beach, looking at the planes landing. That would be awesome. It's a little barren here. But look at that beach, beautiful.
White Jet 23 X-ray, Elif KJ 506 heading 340, expect radar vectors for RNAV runway 20.
Alright, so it's going to give me RNAV approach.
506 heading 340, expect radar vectors for RNAV runway 20, White Jet
So
23 X-ray.
it is going to tell me to turn right.
White Jet 23 X-ray, a turn right, heading 330, a descent to flight level 060, a vectors for the approach.
Turn right, heading 330, descend to flight level 060, White Jet 23 X-ray.
Alrighty. That's
White
this.
Jet 23 X-ray, descend to 5,000 feet.
So we're no longer following the path, we're following radar vectors. And remember, every time I was given radar vectors, something messed up, because Beyond ATC really isn't that perfect. See? I'm doing zigzags.
Heading 180, White Jet 23 X-ray.
zigzagging all around.
White jet 23 X-ray, descend to 4,000 feet.
Descend to 4,000 feet. White jet 23 X-ray.
Sometimes Beyond ATC doesn't take into account the airplane's performance, so it will tell us to do these steep wide turns, and then it's going to give us some trouble fulfilling it. That's exactly what happened at approaching in Innsbruck. It gave us some very steep turns, and we just had to ignore it. I'm not sure. I think that Beyond ATC, Jose, is a little dumb when it comes to traffic at this point. So it's trying to give me clearance
Turn left.
by making turns in order to intercept the RNAV approach, but it's not really bright at doing so. And as far as I can see, that doesn't appear to be any traffic. So it's telling me to turn in until established. What established into
Turn
what?
left, heading 100, 3,000 feet until established. Cleared RNAV runway 20.
So
White jet
let's
23 X-ray.
make our approach to KJ. Probably best IKJ 20. So let's IKJ 20. Direct to. So let's descend to 3,000 feet and managed. Here we go. Should be alright. Yeah, real ATC has to be much better than that. Otherwise we would be in trouble every time we flew, right? So now we're making our approach with the RNAV system. So we got lateral deviation and vertical deviation set up. We're still a bit too high, but we'll intercept it from below like we should. So we got to set up our altimeters 1006. 1006. We can perform our descent approach checklist. So let's contact the tower.
Contact tower 11.
Approach checklist, bearer reference 1006 and cross-checked. Seatbelt sights are on, minimum as set into performance.
White jet 23 X-ray.
Oh, it's not there anymore because we changed. Let me confirm it.
White jet 23 X-ray, Ayacho Tower, wind 185 at 4, runway 20, cleared to land.
RNP, come on, where's the decision
Runway
height?
20, cleared to land. White jet 23 X-ray.
Sick. RNP minimums, not this one. RNP, what are the minimums for runway 20? Come on, come on. Well, we'll just set it for 700 feet. I think I missed that, but it's set. Don't worry about it. And now auto brake set to medium. Set. And now let's prep everything to land. So we're coming in a little too steep. We're gonna correct that with gear down. We need to decelerate real quick. Speed brakes are out.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Yep, I got you.
Ahead.
I got
Pull
you.
up.
Decelerating as fast as I can. Flaps 1. Looks like an autoland, doesn't it?
1000.
1000 check. What a steep approach. There it is. There's our runway. I just changed my speed check flaps too. Yeah, I know.
100 above.
Continue.
Minimum
Continue.
500.
Too low. Terrain. Sink rate.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry.
Sink rate.
Bit too fast. Still going.
100.
Still going.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
Oh, floater.
5.
Oh my god. Can I still break it in time?
White Jet 23 X-ray. Exit right at Alpha.
This was a Russian
Exit right
landing.
at Alpha. White Jet 23 X-ray.
This was a Russian landing. I really didn't want to go around. Not again. I made a promise myself that I wouldn't go around again. Not that. Oh, I even forgot the lights and all that. I was so concentrated on that. That's why you need a co-pilot, guys. Can't do everything by hand.
White Jet 23 X-ray. Contact ground 121.705.
Start our APU. I didn't perform the landing checklist, but it should be ECAM status no blue, and I didn't have any blue on ECAM status. Taxi to Sandgate.
White Jet 23 X-ray. Request taxi to company gate.
White Jet 23 X-ray. Gate 6 taxi via Alpha, Tango.
Gate 6
Gate
via
6 via
Alpha. Alpha and Tango.
White Jet 23 X-ray.
Gate 6. No. Air France. Just picking the Alright, so where's gate 3? There's 1. Actually gate 6. It's gate 1. Oh, there's an Air Corsica A320 here. At least this one has traffic. Gate 2. Yep, and look at that. I purchased the Corsica airport, guys. It was really cheap, so I jumped the gun and I purchased it. Looks way better than what we were looking at yesterday, right? Gate 4. Beautiful A320. It's a nice paint job. I might leave Corsica in Air Corsica. Gate 5. There's a French flag floating. And gate 6. Just in case you had doubts where you were. Turning in. I don't see a marshal anywhere though. Guys, oh, there it is. Ah, it's offset gate. Nice. I don't usually do this. It's gonna be cool just to do it for a change. Yeah, I'm turning. Here we go. Parking brake set. Welcome to Corsica. Let's clear the plane. We got our APU bleed going. Engine 1 off.
The cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related
And beacon off.
However, we ask that
The
you
boarding
remain
requested.
seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off.
Oh, the guy's doing the break dance again.
Messaging, calls, or internet.
Where are the... Oh, there they are. There are the stairs.
Please make sure you keep all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath
Steal what from the Italians? The flag, you mean? The French flag? Isn't the Italian flag red, white, and green? I think it's green, isn't it? Am I hallucinating? I think it's green. All right, let's deboard the plane. After landing, checklist, radar, and weather prediction. This just should have been done in the taxiway, but sorry about that. Parking brake and shocks are set. Engines are off. Wing lights off, and the fuel pumps too off.
Passengers, the boarding started.
Set our external power. These are memory items, by the way, so you should be doing this and then confirm with the checklist. Alright, so I think we're done. We got a company message. Let's just see what they say. Arrival message. We arrived at 10:34. Yeah, about a minute ago. Stop our elapsed time. We probably need to add a couple of minutes here, probably about 5 minutes more, so should be 1:41 flight time total, because again, and Mirsha, you're not here today. The marshal's gone. What are you talking about? Marshal's gone. Oh, this is a walk through gate. I love these gates. Really cool. See the guys unloading the baggage. When GSX works, it's really cool to see. And you can even see it from the inside. So if you open the door, you can see people deboarding. Now, it's unrealistic because usually first class deboards first, but this one is a single class airplane. But even in a multi-class airplane, this is wrongly animated. So it's not just a problem with this particular airplane. So, welcome to Corsica. The landing was... it's never good, isn't it? I mean, how many pilots out there can really say they landed perfectly every time? But in my case, in the last few flights, I performed 2 go-arounds. And, oh, by the way, not smoking. And let's confirm the temperatures. Oh, they actually does need at least this outer wheel. So, and this one doesn't have, this plane doesn't have a brake fan. So the outer wheel is a bit hot. So if there was a depiction of smoke, it would be completely okay. So like I was saying, there's always something happening in this in my flights, and it's not because I do everything wrong, but I sometimes skip stuff. I really miss a co-pilot to help me with some of the workload. It's really hard to fly solo. So again, Michael O'Leary, Ryanair CEO, no, planes are not safe being flown by one single pilot, even if you have a flight attendant with air training. So yeah, I really feel the need to have a co-pilot for some of the stuff, some of the workload, especially running checklists. I mean, you can do it if you're really disciplined, but I love to fly for fun. I'm not really trying to do everything by the book, and I know that I skip some things or I just forget other things. Some of the stuff I forget because I really need someone out here with me flying. Other times you know, it's just me being me. Yeah, see, brakes hot. Oh, that escalated quickly. Yeah, when this happens, you need to take off parking brakes and let them cool. For example, if this was a turnaround and I would really need to go out, if I have brakes hot, I can't do it until the sign is off. That's the reason why some planes have brake fans, so they can shorten the time, the waiting time, by turning on the fans and switching them below 150 degrees. I don't have that luxury on this White plane, so that it's an option for every airline. I think I can add it here, but I want to fly with company rules as much as I can. I think we can add it here in sim settings. Let me check. Where would that be? I draw a virtual cars. Definitely not cabin. Cabin announcements, no. Units, no. Airframe. Brake fans. You see, if I press here, it's added right there. So you see. So if I turn it on, you can hear them going, and this temperature will reduce. But like I said, I like to run things with company option as much as I do. And I honestly believe the brakes are a little too sensitive on this plane. I think they're a little rough. Well, that's it for me. Before I go, let me just remind you. Yeah, Jose, you go. You have stuff to do for sure. If you want to win, not this plane in particular, but if you want to win the... let me just turn off the plane here real quick. Okay. Secure the aircraft checklist. Oxygen off, emergency lights off. EFBs, let's leave them on, and batteries off. Securing aircraft checklist complete. So again, if you want to win the FS Labs A321neo that I have here to offer you guys, there are two conditions. There's actually one condition and one challenge. So the first condition is, as you can find in the description, I need to reach 100 likes. Let me turn on Track IR again. Sorry, not 100, right? 100 subs, 100 subscriptions. And after that, I need you to come here to the chat and tell me why should be you winning the A321neo from FS Labs. I'll pick a winner from the best answer. Again, this is purely based on what you say. The ones that are funnier and the one that really amuses with his reply will win, and it will be a public thing. I'm not going to hide it. I'm not going to give it away just for the sake of giving it away. I'm really going to pick someone. And yeah, but first I need to reach 100 subscriptions. I know, it sounds like something you can't control on your side. I know, I see you. But yeah, I see you, Jose. But yeah, that's what I need to do. I personally need to do. So let's reach 100 subs. Tell me why it should be you winning it, and I'll gladly give it away to you. Remember, this is a 75 or something dollar plane. It's a really cool plane. It's not this one, but it's the FS Labs A321neo. I'm just flying the Fenix these days because it is a recent update, and I really enjoy testing the new stuff out. Just had the taxi lights on. But I really love the FS Labs aircraft as well. It's a really cool plane. So if you want to fly in style, just like me, the description below will tell you, will send you to what you need to do. Remember to like, subscribe, share, help me reach that sweet spot of 100 subscriptions. I'll be glad to just do that for now, at least. And you guys can fly with style with an FS Labs A321 Neo. I think that's a fair trade. Anyway, next flight out of Corsica. You guys get to tell me where you would like to go, and I'll gladly do it for you. That's it for me. Welcome to Corsica. Airbus A321 from Fenix, White Airways. We came out of Corfu from the beach, landed on the beach, literally. Thank you for coming, and appreciate your business. Thank you for your friendship, Lusitani, Sergio, Andrew, Jose, everybody that was available. Even Mersha wasn't here today, but I'm sure that he will watch later. See you guys. Bye.
I love to fly up in the sky. Through the clouds I reach so high, climbing up to touch the light. Adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dreams begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dreams begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the drums begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soared into the light.